With Congress back in session after the summer recess, Catholic and pro-life leaders renew their push for the Conscience Protection Act. If passed, this piece of legislation would add extra protection so the government cannot discriminate against groups because of their pro-life beliefs. Greg Schleppenbach is Associate Director of Pro-Life Activities at the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops. Amy McInerny is Executive Director of Human Life Action. Thank you both for being here.
Good to be with you.
Really good to have you both. First off, Greg, can you break down exactly what the Conscience Protection Act would do?
Yeah, it's actually fairly simple what it does. It doesn't establish any new federal law, but what it does is it would put into permanent law a policy called the Weldon Amendment, which has been attached to must-pass annual appropriations legislation for since 2004. The Weldon Amendment protects against discrimination, protects individuals against discrimination by the government when individuals are unwilling to participate in abortion, pay for abortion, refer for abortion, or provide coverage for abortion. So the Conscience Protection Act puts that Weldon policy into permanent law. And then another important thing it does is provides a private right of action for individuals whose rights are violated to sue in court to have the discrimination stop. And so it would apply that right of action to the Weldon Amendment, as well as a couple of other federal conscience policies that we know don't have that, right? And we've found through challenges in court that without that specific right of action being provided in the law, it doesn't exist. And so really important to get the private right of action
included.
Where
do things stand with this bill right now?
Well, it's been introduced in both the House and the Senate. It has 111 co-sponsors in the House. It has 24 co-sponsors in the Senate. In the House Appropriations Committee has included the language of the Conscience Protection Act in its annual appropriations, Labor, Health and Human Services Appropriations Bill. And so we're waiting for that appropriations process to move forward because we likely don't have the votes in the Senate to pass the bill outright. And so the only way probably we can get this bill enacted into law is to get it attached to must-pass appropriations legislation.
I see. How much of a priority should conscience protection be for Catholics and for pro-lifers?
Well, it should be a number-one priority. It really should. It's a number-one priority for the bishops, and it has been for a number of years. And that's because conscience protection is a very fundamental right. The right of conscience is very fundamental. Right. And the other important issue is the fact that without conscience protections, the practice of abortion will move to a whole nother level of entrenchment in our society and in the medical profession. Think about the fact that the abortion movement is shifting from choice as its messaging to abortion is health care. Right. And so if the government were to say that individuals, institutions can be forced to participate in abortion, it only furthers that notion that abortion is health care and that anybody who doesn't want to participate in it is providing substandard care. So really important. There's also been a number of new violations, increasing violations in states that are mandating that their health insurance policies cover abortions. We've seen individuals such as Kathy DiCarlo and others who have been forced to participate in late-term abortions or lose their jobs in direct violation of these federal policies. And so this is why getting that put into law is so important to provide that private right of action so they can actually enforce the laws that are on the books.
Absolutely. Amy?
Yes, the bishops have called for this to be passed as their number-one priority, not just because they understand that freedom of conscience is a gift from God and not a gift of the state to be doled out and pulled back at whim, but also because they know, Catherine, that this is important for us, the people of God. Catholic doctors should not be forced from the healing arts because they choose not to participate in abortion. And, Catholic moms who rely on that pro-life OBGYN who want to be accompanied through their pregnancy by someone who values every life at all stages, or you want a pediatrician you can take your teenage daughter to. So these are things that are going to impact all of us in our real life, not just businessmen who want to provide health care in accordance with their beliefs to their employees. So this is a priority, or should be a priority, for everyone who values life and liberty of conscience.
Amy, I know your group, Human Life Action, really works at the grassroots level. So at the grassroots level, what is something that Catholics can do about this?
Well, yes, as Greg said, Cardinal Dolan and Archbishop Laurie have called on Congress to enact this legislation. And I say we all follow our shepherds into the public square with the heart of Christ, and we have an opportunity now to proclaim the gospel of life to the legislative process. And we make it really easy for you at Human Life Action on our website, which you'll find at humanlifeaction.org or org. And you can go there, and as I like to say, Catherine, a quick click does the trick. When the bishops call us to action, we'll let you know, and you will see right now on our site in the middle a Take Action button. And we will, once we have your a name and address put in, we will help you send a message custom designed for your member of Congress. We even have a little phone icon you can click on. The member's phone number comes up. Don't panic, we have a phone script there for you. It's really easy to raise your voice and be a voice for the voiceless. And when we do, we know from our 43-year history that when Catholics stand together as one and raise our voices as one, guess what? We're heard on Capitol Hill. And I think that we can get this done.
We can really come together to this and speak together.
And speaking of speaking together, we will be issuing a letter to Congress, a coalition letter signed by 33 organizations, many major medical organizations, pro-life organizations, all in support of the Conscience Protection Act.
This really is a priority. It's something we'll continue to follow. Thank you both for being here. Greg Schleppenbach, Amy McInerny.
It's a joy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our pleasure.